Hello, this is Buffy the Man here, and I'm here to talk about Power Rangers Season 2. This is this season started on July 21st, 1994. It was consisted of 52 episodes from The Mutiny to Blue Ranger Gone Bad. So, in the first three episodes of The Mutiny, Rita Rapunzel is Rita Rapunzel is replaced by Lord Zed because she failed him one too many times, and he shrinks her, puts her in a dumpster, strips her of power, and sends her away. And he takes over. And he, with his first thing he does is makes sea putties, which he sends down to Earth to attack the Rangers, who are doing a motocross ATV race. And they find a hard time beating the putties, but then they figure out you hit the Z in the middle, it defeats them. And then he goes, Lord Zed, mad about this, creates a monster called Piranha Head. And this monster does a lot of damage to the Power Rangers. First thing it really does is freezes the dinosaurs. It then takes over the Tyrannosaurus Rex Zord and the Dragon Zord. And Zordon tells the Rangers that, because Lord Zed's being there, that they're going to need to get more powerful Zords, and they're given the Thunder Zords, which would be like here, the old dinosaurs would be modified to the Thunder Zords. So, like Mastodon Lion, Pterodactyl Firebird, Triceratops Unicorn, Saber Tiger Griffin, and Tyrannosaurus Red Dragon. Those Zords are given to them. They use these Zords to defeat Piranha's Head, and Tommy's still the Green Ranger at this point in time, but his powers are so weak from multiple uses of his powers, and it's pretty much he's on a time limit, so he does not get Thunder Zord, and he still has the Dragon Zord. So, let's talk about the Green Ranger for a second. The Green Ranger still has powers up to 3 no more, but in between that, Lord Zed tries to get the powers or steal the powers. Like, he tries to get rid of them too, or weaken them down. Like with Octo Phantom, he uses that monster to kidnap the Rangers, except for blue and red. But in that process, weakens the Green Ranger powers when he can't finish the fight. And then the Stag Beetle steals his powers from him. He gets them back, but they're much, much, much weaker. Then Lord Zed uses him under mind control to get the Sword of Power. This is the sword that we don't know much about. It's basically the only way to summon it is with all 6 Rangers there. And it is believed by fans that once a Ranger has the Sword of Power, it doubles their powers. And it's also believed it was made from the remains of the Sword of Darkness. But after Chasing His Pace Part 2, after the power chamber blew up, the whereabouts of the sword is pretty much unknown. It probably is still there, but hasn't been found yet. So, anyhow, Lord Zed succeeds in Green No More to get rid of his powers for good. And he is gone. Tommy leaves for like a few episodes in the series, in the season 2. Well, he's not gone quite yet. Later on, he comes back in White Light Part 1 Part 2, where Zordon Alpha make a new Ranger, that's the White Ranger. and they give him a Thunder Sword and a talking sword named Saba, and he used that Thunder Sword to defeat Nimrod, the Nimrod monster, and they formed a Tiger Megazord to do so. But with that said, that's pretty much Tommy's arc in that whole thing. What else really happened in this season was Trey, Walter, and Austin left. They were there for about approximately 20 episodes, and then after Opposites Attracts episode, it's the last time we see them on screen. Then after that, they're off doing weird things and being voiced over in a ranger form and using archive footage. One of these times, it's like Zed's Wave. You can see they use archive footage from a fish tale in season 1 where they're scuba diving, and then you just use pretty much the same audio. So that probably lasted about a few episodes. What they did after they left. Why they left? It's anyone's real guess, but it is believed that they left over payments, because they were not getting paid that much, and if they were not, the actors not allowed to have actor studio cards to make sure they got the fair amount they got paid, so they just end up walking off the set. Then a little later on, we get this 4-part episode called The Ninja Counter, where we are introduced. Introduced to Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. They go to Stonewall Canyon, and they're participating in a tournament in Grove, and they're dressed like ninjas. But later on that episode, they are kidnapped by Goldar to be made into the new Dark Rangers, which he attempted several times and always failed. But this will be no exception. So they get rescued, and in the process find out who the Power Rangers are, and they agree to keep the secret. They are Ranger allies for a few episodes, even saved their lives in Zed's Wave when they removed the brain control from them. But in that 2-part episode, the power transfer, they had to get rid of the Zach, Trini, and Jason characters. So what they did was they had them go off to a peace convention in another country, and they had to go on a mission one last time as Rangers to transfer their powers, and they ended up transferring the powers to Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. Rocky the Red Ranger, Adam the Black Ranger, and Aisha the Yellow Ranger. Then from there on, they are the Power Rangers. So, and this, as they were Power Rangers, they do meet Scorpina, which in this season is their only American non-Sentai footage. After the episode Goldar's Vice Versa, we don't see her again. We don't know what happened to her. We assume she survived or got purified by the Zordon's wave, but we don't know. They just didn't fill the blanks. But there was talk about this episode that was made where they killed the Scorpina off, but there's too much footage of the old Zords in it to use, so it never aired. Then, it's worth noting that the lowest episode in this the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series, the first 3 seasons, the lowest one was in this season. It was called The Great Hoopla Escape. It has the lowest ratings in the entire these seasons. It's only like 1.5 million people, I believe. So, and also in this episode, Lord Zed makes a monster called Power Wielder, the Wielder monster. Oh, I have to look it up later. And it's different footage, and they're just running around trying to escape these explosions. And then finally, Billy blows it up with his power blaster. So, or a blade blaster, you want to call it. And that's the first time we see a monster destroyed with a blade blaster. Then we go on, and also this season, well, this is the last time we'll see the power cannon. We know they fuse all their weapons together. This is like the only time that the New Rangers use it, and this is the last time we ever see it. And then Rita returns later on, puts Zed under a love spell, and they get married. And when they were filming the wedding, part 1, part 2, part 3, they were in Australia filming the Power Rangers movie. So they went to So in the show, they went to Australia to for a class trip. So I don't know what kind of school this is, but damn, they go a lot of different places. Okay. After the wedding, there's a two-part episode. There's a two-part episode called three-part episode. Yep. Called The Return of the Green Ranger. Rita summons the Wizard of Deception to cut off a lock of Tommy's hair, clone him, and make a evil Tommy who got a remade PowerPoint of Green Rangers and becomes the Green Ranger, and he returns. And in this episode, we see that one person can't hold two the same Power Ranger powers of sorts. Like Green Ranger and White Ranger can exist together. You see this later on in Dino Thunder, where there's two White Rangers. And to keep all the Rangers out of the way, they sent them back in time to colonial times, where they are attacked by rat monsters, and these rat monsters were actually supposed to be used in the movie, but they looked too corny, so they used them on the TV show. So then, this episode actually is the last time we will see the Dragon Zord ever. It's soon to be be activated, and in the bottom Angel Grove Lake, where it stays. Okay. They do get a new weapon here called the Power Cannon. It's much more powerful than the Power Blaster. It takes like about between three of them, or 6 of them to operate it. Basically, it's a cannon they hold on their shoulders, they put these spears in, and they fire it with such force that they go backwards. And it looks like they're almost going to fall down, but it fires that monster and destroys it, obviously. And the first time it was used on a jackal skeleton monster, which was totally useless. It just laughed at people. Other than that, it was not really that good of a monster. But then we skip on forward to Storybook Rangers, where Rocky, Tommy, and Kimberly are stuck into her favorite story. And in the story, they have to help this monster. I can't remember his name right now. I should have wrote it down. But he was cursed by Mondo the Magician to deliver these toys to these children. And that's the only way you can break the curse. But Mondo the Magician was originally the original villain in the Sentai counterpart, and he was the main villain. But in this one, he's just like a villain. Reno Lord Zed let out of the book to fight the Power Rangers in a giant form, but he's killed. He's killed quickly, and we assume he's back in the book now. So, and also in this episode, there's a monster called Turkey Jerky. It is the original made American monster that they pretty much reused chunky chicken and plucked it to make Turkey Jerky. And that was killed by the Power Cannon 2 by 3 Rangers. And that was made by Hulk and Skull with a little bit of help from Lord Zed. So, and then pretty much the season 2 ends with Billy being cloned by Rita and Lord Zed, and he turns and is the evil clone that kidnapped the original one. The bad one steals the power morphers from the Rangers. Billy gets free. They destroy the clone, destroy a monster, and that ended that season. So that. But it was a very good season. I like the new Rangers. Not much care for Aisha, but I like Adam and Rocky. So, and they did get a new walking call sequence where they're wearing tank tops of their color, and it was all in all not too bad. I was really mad at the time that Jason, Trini, and Zach left. I remember that as a kid. I was so mad they left, but no, I guess I'm pretty much over as an adult. And the last time actually Zach and Trini are mentioned is in this season, in the Great Bukala Escape, where they got a postcard from them talking about what it's like at the peace conference. So, but Jason will return in Zeo. About the second half, he will return as the Gold Ranger. But all in all, this was a good season. And out of 5, I'll have to give it a 4. So, this is like another good season to check out. And a lot of American-made stuff in this one, so it's like good to see the original stuff. So 4 out of 5. So I'll give it a check out, and you can see. And I just give brief summaries really on seasons, so and give my ratings. But I would go watch it. And you discover so much more I didn't cover in this video, so I would check it out. All right, this is Buffy Z Man here, signing off, and I'll see you later.